F it, we'll do it live.
Yeah, I like starting out that way. That's solid. That's solid.
Welcome to Shots Fired Saturday edition. Well, it's the only edition. We used to have a weekly show, but we kind of got canned on that. Here we are on Saturday mornings, feeding your hunger for everything self-defense, firearms, tactical weapons, training, yada yada yada. You know, this is not your granddaddy's hunting show.
No, definitely not.
And Saturday nights.
That's right.
Drew just reminded me we are now on Saturday mornings at 11 and Saturday nights at 8 p.m. So we're getting that repeat going for all y'all that don't have anything to do but listen to us at Saturday at 8 o'clock.
Yeah. I mean, I could think of worse things to be doing.
Oh, absolutely. There's a lot of worse things you can be doing. So we are, it's me, TJ Kirgin, a.k.a. ᵃᵗ&ᵗ, your local warlord, and my warlord apprentice,
Assistant to the local warlord,
Dinah Death Milberg, Alex. And we, once again, are sad to announce that we do not have the lovely Krystal Powers in the building.
Yes.
She has
gone on to a better place. Wait.
No, she hasn't. Well, I guess you could say that.
Oh, she's busy?
Starting a business in Warrenton, and she couldn't get up off all fours today to come in because she was putting in flooring.
Yeah, you'll have that on them flooring jobs.
Yeah, I could see her now just down there just polishing the floor.
Do you think
while her husband stands there and watches?
Do you think she uses vegetable oils to polish the floor?
Seed oils.
Or seed oils at all?
Seed oil would make that floor look fantastic.
The irony. It does. It does polish well.
Because we also talk about health and wellness here, because self-defense, the first thing you have to do to be able to defend yourself is survive yourself. And so it's pretty deep. We get into things like, don't eat cereal, don't eat seed oils, stay away from anything with processed wheat in it, and all kinds of other stuff. And usually Krystal brings that to the table. She's got a level of expertise in health and nutrition.
Yeah. You've been on the Kick cereal rant lately.
Yeah, well, absolutely. I mean,
I had no idea.
We're supposed to talk about guns and war and stuff today, but let's talk about cereal for a minute.
Okay.
I freaking love Fruit Loops. I miss Fruit Loops.
Reese's Puffs for me, man.
But I will not. I can't eat Fruit Loops anymore. If somebody comes out with a Fruit Loop flavored thing that is not going to completely be bad for me, hear me out here. First of all, if you want to know why you shouldn't eat cereal as an adult, or a child for that matter, simply read the book or listen to the book, Lies My Doctor Told Me.
Seeing what it's made of, human consumption, period.
Yeah, I mean, cereal is made out of pressurized extruded wheat where they take all of the goodness out of it and turn it into this stuff that's full of carcinogens, that create
cancer products,
and whatnot. And it's basically just sugar and cancer. And I'm not just talking about Fruit Loops.
Cancer sugar.
Yeah. I'm not just talking about Fruit Loops. I'm talking about all the stuff that they present to you as really good for you.
Yeah.
Your
Honey
Raisin
Nut
Bran,
Cheerios,
Raisin Bran, any
Special
cornflakes. I used to, as I've gotten older, I started eating these, I forget what, granola cereal, I forget what it's called.
Yeah.
Because it's supposed to be really good for your heart. No, it's not. It's not at all. It's all got that processed wheat in it, and it's all absolutely, and sugar. And so sugar and wheat are your two biggest enemies if you're looking to, avoid diabetes and improve your health, lose weight, and be mentally clear and physically fit and all those things. I'm actually getting ready. Jamie at Precision Fitness, his wife, Jen, is prescribing me one of those blood glucose meter things that you stick in your arm.
Yeah.
Even though I don't have diabetes, I'm not pre-diabetic.
Yeah.
But what people are doing it now. It's going to cost me a little bit of money, but I want to actually see in my app on my phone how my body reacts to everything I eat throughout a day.
Interesting.
If I eat a hard-boiled egg compared to if I do a shot of tequila, compared to if I do a shot of vodka, the major food groups.
Well, I feel like the results from an egg health-wise are probably going to be better than a shot of vodka.
Well, it is true. And, it's funny that you said that because I really do. I want to see what So there is no sugar.
What if you took a shot of tequila out of the egg?
That makes it better.
Would that be healthier?
It's a Russian Grand Slam, I think. Something like that. Yeah.
Did we just come up with a new drink?
I think we might. Denny's, take note. So eggs, for example.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Everybody, we've been taught all these years, eggs are bad, yolks are bad, it causes cholesterol, it's saturated fat. Guess what? They just did a study in Japan that the people with the highest cholesterol levels live the longest.
Really?
Yeah, it's an outright lie that cholesterol is bad for you. Cholesterol is required for your body to function. Saturated fats aren't bad for you. Red meat's not bad for you. Look here. If you're a farmer, and you need to fatten up your cow, what do you feed it?
Grass.
Well, that's a cow's normal diet. But if you want to fatten it up, you feed it wheat.
It'd be wheat.
Right?
I never thought about that.
You want to fatten up a turkey,
because that's what they eat.
Wheat.
That's what they eat during the winter.
Right. Have you ever heard of anybody fattening an animal up by feeding it meat?
No.
Or eggs? So the point is, there's tons and tons of lies out there that we've all been taught, and that we've all done harm to our bodies all these years. However long you've been on this earth, you have probably done dumb stuff, thinking you were doing good stuff. Like, hey, I eat cornflakes every morning. My heart's awesome. No.
My father-in-law does that. He's religious with his Cheerios to the point where he will complain about how bad of gas it gives him. Ad nauseum, to the point where it's like, well, then why are you eating it? But he'll still eat it because he's been told it's good for his heart.
I'll tell you what, I am in no way related to the book, but, I actually learned about the book at an interview on this show. Lies my doctor told me. There's some chapters in there that, if you're a woman, they'll apply to you, like talks about estrogen, fake estrogen, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I skipped that chapter. I don't need to worry about my estrogen levels. I mean, I do a little bit. But not
the same amount.
I'm not saying so. There, you can literally kind of go through and pick which ones make sense to you in the book. And each chapter is about the lie, and then he lays out the facts behind the lie and how the lie was perpetuated. Normally, imagine this: it's by Big Pharma.
Oh no, but they're here to help.
Advertising and marketing. So for the cholesterol one, right?
Yeah.
So my father was scared to death by his doctor in the 90s. In the early 2000s. You got high cholesterol. You need to stop eating pork. You need to stop eating eggs. You need to take this cholesterol medicine.
That's literally how turkey bacon was invented. It was, your cholesterol, you got to cut bacon.
And so they prescribe an entire generation of boomers, the statins.
Right? Yeah.
And now doctors are starting to think, oh my God, did we create a dementia outbreak because statins give dementia? Because the lower your cholesterol, the higher probability you're going to have dementia.
Really?
Amazing stuff.
This is new. I didn't know that.
I'm fascinated by it, and I'm learning more every day. But this is the kind of stuff that we want to talk about in the show.
So you're telling me it's safer to do cocaine than cereal?
Absolutely.
That's kind of frightening. Like, we're joking here, but, at the same time, it almost sounds like some of this stuff that you think is not so bad is actually way worse for you.
Do an 8-ball in the morning instead of a bowl of cereal. Okay.
My, how the turntables have turned.
Man, it's been a rough week for the country and the gun world.
Oh yeah, I was catching up on that yesterday.
We had another mass shooting, that just happened. We're going to talk about that coming up after the break. This one was in Louisville, Kentucky.
Yes, correct.
Right?
Correct.
And obviously there was a police officer, several police officers that were shot.
One's still in critical.
And he was 23 years old and had just graduated the academy on March 31st.
Yeah, he had been on 2 weeks.
Week one. Yeah, week one, 10 days. 10 days on the force, and he gets shot in the head with a 5.56 round.
Yeah.
So our prayers and our thoughts go out to him for whatever that's worth. His partner, who was his training officer, did an excellent job of neutralizing the threat after being shot himself, taking hard cover. We'll tell you the whole story if you haven't seen the videos. And, when you see the videos on the news, they really don't tell you what you're looking at. So we'll break down what led up to the shooting, what happened during the shooting, tactically, the fails, the wins, and then, obviously what the liberals are doing now to leverage the shooting and use it to create more fear-mongering and try to take your guns. Speaking of that, if you want more guns and ammo and gear and armor and things for them to try to take from you.
Yep.
We actually have that.
We have all of it under one roof.
So Alex and I both run a company called ᵃᵗ&ᵗ.
Aye.
We can't say the last word, so we spell it like that because the FCC doesn't like cuss words. It's in St. Peter's on Highway 70 at the Cave Springs exit. And we do custom order firearms. We do tactical gear, armor, optics, lasers, night vision, all of the fun stuff. Probably some of the lowest cost and best selection of ammunition in the area.
Yeah, easily.
And the real value you get when you come to our shop is guys like Alex and our entire squad. Our guys are all, not all, but mostly former combat veterans. They've got a lot of experience on two-way ranges, and they can give you advice about your setup, how to build it, whether it's your first gun or your 300th gun, what night vision to use, what armor to buy, blah, blah, blah. Go in and see them. ᵃᵗ&ᵗ in St. Peter's. We'll be back in a minute. Okay, we're back talking about the Louisville mass shooting.
Yeah.
This was a workplace shooting.
Yes.
At least that's what it appears to be.
Well, they're saying that, but also he
had some political motivation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So before we get into the shooting, I've got something on my chest.
What do you got?
Tactical SH
Aye.
T-shirt.
Okay, touche.
You meant figuratively.
Yes.
I've got an idea of how we can cut mass shootings in this country down to almost zero.
Ban people.
Well, you're close.
No. Okay.
Ban guns.
Go on.
For liberals.
Ooh. Because I'm seeing what you're saying. A majority of the mass shootings are done by
the vast majority of mass
left.
shootings in this country are committed by extremist leftist liberals.
Yeah.
And that's a proven fact.
Yeah, or mentally unstable, which same thing.
It's all the same. Yeah, exactly. It's the same thing. They're on SSRI drugs. They're liberal. They have pronouns in their social media.
Yep.
Although, you know what? We used to talk about that. Every active shooter, mass shooter in this country has been proven to be on an SSRI, some sort of antipsychotic, bipolar, whatever medicine. Yep. But now we can say not only are they on that, but they also have pronouns in their bio.
Yes. That's become the thing.
So here's my pitch. Liberals want to ban guns.
Yes.
They don't want people to have guns. They're scared of guns. And so why don't
they don't have to have them?
Yeah, why don't we just allow liberals to ban guns for liberals?
That makes sense.
That would ban guns for half of this country.
Yeah, the dangerous half.
Yeah,
the half that burns down cities.
Yep, the half that lives in cities.
Ooh,
right?
Yeah.
So it would put an end to criminal violence because all the liberals would follow the law, right?
You make a valid point. And if you look at all the high crime areas, they're blue areas.
Yeah.
So
if the liberals just concede to allow us, the American government, to ban their guns.
Yeah.
And then the conservatives, we've got
it's a win for everybody.
We're 50% of the country. We get to keep our Second Amendment and our Bible and all those useless things that y'all don't think we need. And but crime would be drastically reduced. Gun mass shootings would be drastically reduced, and gun ownership in this country would probably be reduced by at least 1 or 2%.
Look at you knowing how to compromise and stuff. I'm proud of you.
Thank you. I came up with that idea when I was driving to work.
How progressive of you.
And I am very progressive.
You're progressive.
I am a progressive Second Amendment advocate.
Look at that. You've become an acceptable, I support the Second Amendment, but not for liberals guy. I like that.
I'm a progressive FUD.
Oh no. What have we done? I actually like this, though.
You know what? I think that should become a shirt.
No, this needs to happen.
The Second Amendment,
but
for liberals.
Yes.
I like that.
Except for liberals.
Let me write that down. I support.
Expect this for sale on shop.ᵃᵗ&ᵗ. T.com here shortly.
All right. Let's talk about this shooting. We got 5 minutes to break it down. Well, we got the rest of the show, but 5 minutes in this segment.
Yeah.
So, I'm not going to say his name. We try not to publicize these shooters' names.
Yes.
Right? I believe he was 23 years old. He was an employee of the bank that had recently been notified that he was terminated.
Yes, and it was during a board meeting. There's a board meeting going on.
Yeah. He has struggled with mental illness his whole life.
Shocking.
he had lots of head injuries as a young sports player, basketball player. Those were, reported by his teammates. But, of course, they said that they couldn't believe he did this. Although he did text one of his friends, saying that he was going to shoot up the bank because they fired him.
And I believe there was something along the lines of they didn't listen to the protests.
Yeah,
so maybe
that was a social media post he made that he said they won't listen to the protests. Maybe they'll listen to this.
Yeah.
And what he was talking about was, obviously, the protest he was referring to appeared to be the BLM protests because he was an active supporter of Black Lives Matter.
Was it that or the trans stuff they've had?
Well, and there's some speculation that he might have been a supporter of the LGBTQ
because he had his
the
pronouns
queer
listed.
movement. But he definitely had his pronouns out there. Good for him, though. It was a he/him. He was like he wasn't a she, her, or an it, or a this or that.
A they.
He was he/him. But like I
this
said,
week,
if somebody has a pronouns in their bio or on their business card, it's basically a tell. Everybody has a tell.
Yeah.
You're an idiot.
Yeah.
And or you're a nutcase. Chances are you might be both, but you are definitely one or the other. And if you're listening to this and you've got pronouns in your bio, you're an idiot.
Yeah, we mean that.
Or you're
we stand
nutcase.
by it.
I stand by that all day long.
And if you want to fight us, that's fine because you're sober and probably take hormones.
You want to fight us, your pronoun will be was and were.
That's
really
cool.
simple.
We're not too concerned.
So he/him goes to work with AR-15 and commences to shoot up his employers, the bank president and a bunch of old women and whatnot that work inside the bank because he's a really, really, really brave guy.
Yes.
Brave, liberal, trying to set an example for the left. And so he does that. Police get called. The first unit responding has this young rookie officer in it. He's driving. There is camera footage out there, Axiom body camera footage.
Yeah, it was good footage, too.
It was good. So they pull up to near the front of the bank, immediately take fire. Now, he's already killed all the people that he killed and shot in the bank. Now he's laying in wait for the police to get there.
Yeah.
It's ambush time. And so they come down the street. They take immediate and effective fire. The training officer says, back up, back up, back up. They back up down the street. They get out both sides of the car. Egress to the rear of the vehicle, pop the trunk. The training officer gets out his patrol rifle. Looked like an SBR AR-15.
Yeah.
Kind of a Mark 18 looking deal. He chambers around, and then they begin moving on the building. Now, critiquing their movement, they were in the wide open for way too long.
Yeah, that's the first thing I
they
noticed.
should have shifted right and went down the right side of the building.
They were coming up the stairs. There is, we've talked about this in defending your home. Going upstairs, you're setting yourself up badly. And it was a small set of stairs, open, exposed, but you are having to literally fight uphill.
Yeah, I mean, so active shooter means they got to go. They have to commit. They can't just lay back and wait. And that's what they did.
Yep.
We're not second guessing them. We're just critiquing what happened. For other officers, or if you ever find yourself in this situation, that maybe it turns out differently for you. But one of the biggest problems was they couldn't see in the bank. The bank had mirrored windows.
Yes.
And so the bad guy had an absolute advantage. He's standing inside the mirrored windows. He's able to see them. They can't see him. And for whatever reason, the first several shots, the 5.56, put through the mirrored windows on those officers did not shatter the windows.
Yeah.
It only put, ice pick size holes in the window and, unfortunately, a hole in the young officer's head.
You have to pump quite a few 5.56 in the glass before it shatters.
Yeah. He put. It sounded like about a barrage of about five rounds were fired as they came up the stairs.
Yeah.
The training officer was hit, but not effectively.
Yeah.
I don't know if it hit him in his armor or if it hit him in the. I didn't see any blood. I don't know where he was hit, but it was a non-life-threatening wound. However, unfortunately, the 23-year officer was struck in the head, and he dropped where he stood, right there on the stairs. So then the training officer basically hightails it down the stairs and takes cover behind a giant concrete planter and begins trying to get an eye on the shooter using the stairs and the planter as cover.
Yeah.
And we got to go to break. We'll talk about what happened next as soon as we get back.
Bad boys, bad boys.
All right. My mind is blown.
Yeah, I don't like this planet anymore.
No, but while we were
We don't have to worry about aliens because they're not going to want to come here.
While we were off the air, we just found out that Kellogg's is doing an LGBTQ cereal. And you can't make this up. they are combining Fruit Loops and Frosted Flakes.
Forgive me if I'm wrong here, but isn't a derogatory term used to explain homosexual person
If
a
you're
Fruit
queer
Loop?
and I call you a Fruit Loop, that's bad, right?
Yeah, but
And if you're a liberal and I call you a flake, that's bad, right?
so wait, Kellogg's basically told Bud Light, "Hold my beer."
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Kellogg's just told Bud Light to
All
hold my beer.
right.
So if the beginning of our show wasn't enough to make you stop eating Kellogg's food because to save your own life, if that's not enough for you to stop eating Fruit Loops or Frosted Flakes, maybe the fact that they're pouring them together and calling it Together in honor of the LGBTQ for queer. Queer meaning hardcore activist, liberal, leftist. Queer means they want to fight, right? That's what they say, not me. I don't know. I'll tell you what, it's making it awesome for all these small brands in America to actually
giving them a
get some
chance.
foothold.
I'll tell you who this is really a win for: the meme generators of the world.
Yeah.
We don't have to try. The
Like I
memes
said,
literally make
and I think
themselves.
that's part of the plan. I think this whole thing, the fact that they get us talking about this, is just the distraction.
It has to be.
It's the greatest distraction psyop ever conveyed on a mass of people in the history of our world so that they could wag the dog and do the World War III and all the stuff. So let's go back to the shooting in Louisville.
Yeah.
So training officer, 23 years old, gets shot in the head. I'm sorry, the officer in training. The training officer gets hit, goes to cover, hard cover. So what's the difference between hard cover and soft cover?
So soft cover is you're basically concealed, but multiple rounds may be able
Like
to
a bush.
penetrate through.
A bush is soft cover. You know,
Yeah,
like that's
or that's
a
the
car
difference.
door.
Cover and
Yeah, you're right.
concealment.
A bush is concealment.
Yeah,
A car door would be soft
cover. Maybe a round or two a handgun, but rifle's going to penetrate.
Hard cover, concrete.
Yeah,
Right?
and thick concrete.
Thick concrete.
Because 5.56 will punch through some cinder blocks and some concrete if it's thin enough.
Maybe. Yeah, a 7.62 will do it, but I don't know about 5.56. We'll have to try that sometime.
It's not a bad idea.
Just cinder block.
Yeah.
It's been years since I shot cinder blocks.
It's fun. It's so much fun.
It is. So he's hit. He goes down the stairs. He's got to try to find the bad guy, right? Because he still doesn't know because the windows are tinted where the bad guy is. The guy does a really good job of using the hard cover and moving from side to side, trying to get his position. If I was critiquing him at all, he probably should have went weak hand on the soft side. But you're not going to do that in that situation because your adrenaline's pumping. You're not thinking. He's just exposing him a little bit more by sticking his right-handed gun out the left-hand side. Again, nobody's going to think of that. I wouldn't have. Our job here is to Monday morning quarterback, right?
And I stand by, if somebody's if you're confident with your weak side as well as your strong side, then go for it. But if not, you run in your stronger side, exposing yourself a little extra, you make up for it. I don't think it's that bad.
He fortunately didn't expose himself.
No.
Didn't take any rounds. Some officers move in to try to get the down officer off the stairs.
Yes.
When they move in to get the down officer off the stairs, him opens fire.
Yeah.
This time shattering the bank window and then exposing himself.
Yep.
Which the officer, the training officer who was behind the hardcover,
immediately
smoke checked, canoed the guy,
Yeah.
and he was done. He was done.
Fantastic.
Great
work.
shooting, good, 20, 30, 40 yards, headshot. He put an end to the threat really fast. And then he used very good verbal commands to get those guys to, get that officer down those stairs and out of the line of fire. And then he moved forward to make sure the threat was taken care of. So bravo to the Louisville Police Department.
Absolutely. There's been two very solid police shootings recently. The other being the one in Tennessee at the Christian school, who turns out that guy was a prior Marine.
Yeah.
Prior enlisted dude. So good work there. But it's nice to see that there's law enforcement guys taking their role serious and learning how to effectively use their weapons.
Well, and that's the reason I started doing what I do. I'm a former police officer. I was big time into tactics and training to be prepared for the moment when you're called upon. And I saw a huge need for other law enforcement officers to have that same training and that passion and, the skill sets and whatnot that I developed. Mine was all elective, right? Nobody said, you need to go take this training. I was like, hey, can I sign up for that? I would seek it out. And a lot of cops didn't do that. And today I think that's changing.
It's not enough, though. We have this conversation with some of our customers who are law enforcement. And while some of them do, most of them being our customers, it frightens them how many don't. And there's some stories I could go into, but I don't want to get people in trouble. But how many know for a fact if certain things hit the fan, how many officers wouldn't respond the way would be desired and aren't willing to step up like that is slightly frightening to some of the officers who are. But to the guys who are stepping up on their own to get training, good work.
Yeah, and I think it's becoming very obvious that you don't have time to wait for the backup to get there.
No.
In these kind of situations, you're going in one or two guys. You need to have the kit with you to protect yourself and give you the best advantage possible.
Yeah.
You're not waiting. The days of waiting for SWAT are long over with.
Yeah, I'm starting to see like SWATs, barricaded suspects, something like that, or, warrants or something. But for quick response, there's just not the time.
Yeah. I love St. Charles County. I think St. Louis County probably does it as well. They've got, St. Charles County SWAT team is multi-jurisdictional.
Yeah.
It's made up of cops in O'Fallon and St. Charles and St. Peters and Wentzville and blah, blah, blah. And I think they strategically scheduled those dudes to – there's always SWAT guys in cars in St. Charles County with their gear and ready to respond.
Yeah.
Not the whole team, obviously, but they're all on call.
You get one or two SWAT guys respond to something.
St. Charles County is fast to get SWAT on location.
Very
fast.
Very.
And very effective, lethally effective. They smoked a guy a couple blocks away from me a few months ago in O'Fallon.
Yeah.
Right across from St. Dominic High School.
Well, we know a few of them. I'm not going to say his name, but dude's by far one of the best shots I've ever met. Yeah. Used to frustrate me shooting with him because I was always trying to chase after him, and he'd pick up a new shooting sport and be like, oh, I'm going to give this a try, and place in the top 3 his first time.
Guys like that they're out there, and thank God for it, right?
Yeah.
All right, so what have we not covered? So they put this guy down.
Yeah.
Then they started rendering aid to the victims.
Yeah.
According to the Louisville hospitals and doctors and staff, that had the officers not performed tactical first aid, dirt medicine on the location, some of those people would not have survived.
Absolutely.
And this shows you, too, I was talking about it with our manager at Clearwater earlier, Scott, that, if you have the tools, the training, and the ability to put holes in people, you need to have the tools, the ability, and the training to plug holes in people.
Absolutely.
Not saying that you need to plug the holes in the people you put the holes in. That was always a problem I had when I was a cop. I was a cop and an EMT. So had I had my state license EMT, which I didn't intentionally, I did not pass the test intentionally because I did not want to be forced by to take care of the bad guy I just put down.
Yeah, that would be a little awkward.
Yeah. So, but if you carry a gun, you should also carry a tourniquet. At least in your truck or in your glove box or in your purse or something. Bleeds can happen for a lot more reasons than just gunfire. And you need to know how to use those things. How to pack a wound, how to put on a tourniquet the right way.
Yep.
We actually have some classes coming up this summer for that, don't we?
Should be able to. I'm waiting to hear back from one girl who stopped by who's wanting to jump in on that. And then we've got a few other options to be able to start knocking out some medical courses again. That's high demand, and that's something I think, man, it's way sexier and cooler to put on gear and pretend to be DevGru for a day and go shoot really fast at the range, and that's fun and everything, but you are 10 times more likely to have to use some sort of basic medical knowledge in your life than use your gun. It was weird when I first got out. I think the first year or two I was out of the Corps, I responded to 5 different accidents that I was involved in that required medical attention and had to do some sort of first aid on.
Well, as a police officer, I never shot anyone, but I had to stop life-threatening bleeds probably 100+ times.
Yeah. Yeah, you're way more likely to do that. And, I mean, if you carry firearms, you go to ranges, you go to matches, you go to shooting events, you carry a knife. If you have all the stuff to do it and you're always talking about being prepared and being ready, why would you not also have the stuff to fix people? Because, again, what happens when you're at an active shooter situation or you're, I don't know, anything?
Yeah. Yeah, you were talking about, pretending you're Dev Grew.
Oh, no, I know where this is going. I know exactly, because I just saw,
when I train, I train that I pretend that I'm an ATF TAC team. And here's an audio clip from the last time we
magazine.
Well played, sir. Here's an audio magazine from the last time I got together with my buddies and we did some ATF training. This is our team leader. Here you go.
Stack on me. Stack harder. Harder, John. Stack harder. Stack harder, John. Stack on me. Oh, stack right inside me. Oh, you're stacking me. Oh.
And that's how you play ATF. Stack on me, Alex.
No, I'm good. I am never going to get in a stack with Jack Mandeville ever.
Yeah, that was Jack Mandeville. He's one of the best comedic performers that I've
Four-time gay chicken champion.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just guessing.
I met Jack when I was in Range 15.
Yeah.
The movie Range 15, which was a comedy movie my wife and I both got to appear in. It was just laced with veterans, and Jack was one of them playing, basically himself in the movie.
Yeah.
And if you ever have a chance to watch Range 15, it's on Amazon. I think it's on Netflix.
Yeah.
It's pretty much everywhere. Range 15. I take it in the butt in the first episode. In the first part of the movie, I get shot in the buttocks with an arrow.
Yes.
By Matt Best, one of the founders.
It's like in the first 5 minutes.
One of the founders of Black Rifle Coffee. Matt Best. It's one of my little claims to fame. One of my 15 minutes in the glory hole. Everybody gets 15 minutes in the glory hole. Oh, no, that's 15 minutes of fame. I meant fame.
All right. So, yeah, there's that. Same thing. Sure. All right.
So what's happening with gun laws since Louisville?
They're gay. What? The stay and attempted request for an injunction for the brace ban got denied.
Oh, yeah.
So there's that big loss.
Sadness there. So we're
or
almost.
You could just not care.
Yeah.
Just throw bus stock.
We've got, what do we got left? So this is, we got basically 2 weeks before the doomsday, and everybody that has an arm brace is essentially a felon.
Yeah.
I was really, I still have hope, and I still believe that something's going to happen to, injunction or, stay or something wise. But so far,
it's not looking good.
It has not happened, and it's not looking good. Again, just to recap, I'm not doing the amnesty thing. I'm not applying for SBRs. I'm not going to admit to the federal government on a signed document with pictures of evidence that I committed a felony, even though it was not a felony at the time, and they have discretionary enforcement. I'm not doing that.
Oh yeah, guys, no, it's totally cool. We're not going to come after you. Okay.
I'm going to take my arm brace off those pistols that I have.
Yep.
And throw them in a different building or a different property that I own, just to separate them so I don't have constructive possession. And then I'm going to sit back and wait for this thing to be overturned at some point.
Yep.
And then put them back together. If I want to turn one of those guns into an SBR, I'll do it the right way. Form 1, $200.
Yep.
And get to doing that. So we got to go to break, and then we'll be back for the last segment of the show. All right. Hey, I was watching the Sean Ryan show the other day. You watched that, right?
Religiously.
I know. You're the one that turned me on to it.
Yeah.
I mean, we met Sean years ago. One of our employees actually worked with him when he was in the
certain group.
Yeah, a certain group we can't mention or whatever. It was the CIA, right? He was a
GRS
guy with the CIA. Sean Ryan, Vigilance Elite. Shots Fired is an awesome show. We hope we bring levity to you. We bring fun. We bring good technical and tactical information. We try to expose the follies of gun control, and we get political a little bit. But if you want to watch or listen to a podcast where you get actually like incredible information,
and stories
that have just been declassified, and in some cases not. His podcast was actually taken off the air in Canada because they accused him of putting out classified info when they could not produce the proof of classification.
Put it back up.
He put it right back up because he said he was under no control of the Canadian government.
Yeah.
Anyway, the Sean Ryan Show, check it out. It's while you're there, while you're subscribing to the Sean Ryan Show on whatever podcast platform you're on, please subscribe to Shots Fired. Now, there are several podcasts out there called Shots Fired.
Yes.
We're the one with the Spartan helmet made of guns. That's us. Subscribe to our podcast on your iPhone, on your Android, SoundCloud, Spotify, YouTube. We're on YouTube. You can find us there. So but that way, if you don't get the show, or you can listen to the show on the 93.3 Real Talk app. You can podcast it there anytime as well. So millions of ways to listen to this show, not just at 11 o'clock on Saturday mornings or 8 p.m. on Saturday night.
But whenever you want.
So we were talking about Louisville.
Yeah.
And then we got into, the fact that the arm brace, nothing has happened. That is going into effect in 2 weeks.
Sadly.
Outside of that, we got some other big news that's kind of happening as we are recording this show. It's Thursday.
They're arresting them right now.
We've had some significant intelligence leaks that
2 weeks ago?
In your words, changed the battle space. And I don't. This is not something I've been following. I need you to teach me, why are we arresting a 21-year-old,
Air National Guard guy?
Air National Guardsman right now for treason or whatever.
So the leaks were regarding the Russian-Ukraine war. It was classified U.S. intel on the documents, and basically it was stating that this whole propaganda of Ukraine is winning, Russia's mass loss of troops and everything is complete and utter BS and propaganda. That in reality, Russia is doing much better and much more effective. They're playing the long-term game. They're not taking remotely near the casualties that are being claimed by us or Ukraine. That it's known that what we're putting out is Ukraine. Basically, that we've been being lied to this whole time, which we already knew.
That.
Yeah, I mean, most of us already knew that. But the campaign is not going in favor of Ukraine like everyone thought. Shocker.
Mm-hmm.
And
how did that change the battle space?
So
I heard that they actually, like the Ukrainians, whatever, they're
holding their counteroffensive right now. They're actually pausing.
So they were getting ready to do a counteroffensive, or they had actually launched it.
Yeah, and who's supporting? Like, it came out that Serbia, parts of Serbia, were sending weapons and munitions to Ukraine, which is news.
How is that shocking?
Because Serbia was also sending Serbian troops in with Russia. Serbian conscripts.
Well, if you know Serbians like I do, you know that they go both
ways
like that.
Yeah, it's not that shocking.
They will sell guns to both sides.
Usually the most profitable way.
Yeah.
So just a lot of stuff like that, and because of everything that came out, I don't know why Zelensky or whoever is running that show held off or is calling for a hold off on the counteroffensive, but it sounds like stuff leaked that they didn't want out. And so our government was scrambling to find out who did it. Took them a little bit, but it all came down to a 21-year-old, if I had to guess, probably E3, E4 intel guy in the Air National Guard, which, as a former E3 and E4 Mafia member myself, while we do hold much power and sway, having access to that level of classified documents, especially at the Pentagon, doesn't really make sense. If you're an E3 and or E4 in the Pentagon, from what I understand, you're somebody's coffee gopher.
Yeah.
You're not doing declassified briefings.
This is probably some movie worth stuff where
something else is going on.
This
most
kid's
likely
a fall guy for something much bigger.
Either that or he really is that dumb, somehow had access to this, like, guys, check this out. Because it was leaked on some group he's in that does anti-government, it's a meme page is basically what it is. It's a Discord server that's a meme page of gun pro-2A, anti-government gun guys.
I'm not on there.
That sounds familiar. And he leaked it on there. That's where it originated from. They were able to track it back to him. I mean, they're showing the dude's picture of him taking a selfie in his Air Force dress, whatever the hell they call him. And I mean, dude has like one ribbon, and I don't even know Air Force rank, so I can't even venture to guess, but not very much.
How did they catch him? I heard something about glue.
I don't.
I mean, if it's posted on the internet, how do they identify the glue?
Who knows? Maybe he took pictures of the documents. I'm not even sure. I'm not up on it. It's literally I was listening to it and finding out about it as I was.
Yeah, I mean, they literally a SWAT team just took him into custody.
Yeah.
Because he's like, bad guy number one right now.
Out of all things, the fact that he leaks on a Discord server, and of course, when they go to arrest him, he was literally at his mom's house.
Yeah.
That sounds about accurate.
Well, things are getting scary in the world right now, man.
Yeah, it's you can't make this stuff up anymore. Like, I watched Idiocracy again recently. We're to a point where President Camacho would be a better, more viable option than Biden. Because at least, like, Camacho
Can't argue with that.
had balls and could form a coherent sentence.
Mm-hmm.
We don't even have that.
No.
That's where we're at right now. Other than that, things are great. How are you?
I heard something he said today. Evidently, Pelosi has shingles, and he said something about roofing is hard at any age, especially when you're as old as she is. Hey, Travis Haley.
Yes.
Right, we are 20 years since the Battle of Najaf.
Yeah.
And he's famous for being in that battle.
Literally
and
stacking bodies for a whole day.
The trigger man, right? They would just feed this guy ammo on the long gun, and so he then came back, transitioned much better than some others, and managed to build an empire.
Yeah.
Of a brand that is above many other brands in the gun industry, in the tactical gear industry, holsters, lights, knives, you name it.
It all started because of the Magpul Dynamics videos with
yeah.
Costa.
Yeah, with Costa.
The old OG Magpul, the art of carbine and the art of handgun.
Yep. And you know what? You laugh, but I used to train in my
Absolutely.
basement with those videos because that's all we had back then. To learn how to do different reloads and stuff like that. There wasn't classes that you could go to like all you lucky guys today.
No.
So anyway, Travis has been doing some more talking head videos lately, and what he has to say I find compelling and important. It's almost a call to arms.
Yeah.
It's definitely a call to action.
Yeah.
And I wanted to play one of them for you guys real quick, so stand by.
It takes good men and women to step up with good moral and ethical code to fight back, to speak up about it, like right now. And I think it's time. It's time for all of us to start speaking up, using our voice, not just our guns, right? Because we can get a lot more done with our voice than we can just pick it up again. That's why I always say think before you shoot, right? Be a thinker, not just a shooter. It actually means something.
I want to point out a couple things in that speech.
Not just your gun?
Yeah. That was number 2.
Yep.
It's time to fight.
Yeah.
And speak up. And then not just your guns. It was, he didn't say it's not time for it.
Yeah.
He said it's, just not just guns.
Yeah.
So I thought that was, I don't know, to me, stuff like when you start hearing stuff from men like that, like in those words, I feel like we're almost at a precipice.
Yeah. I mean, he's been a very quiet, conservative. I mean, we've met Travis. He is a very quiet, humble, down-to-earth, smart, intelligent guy. I believe he's a part-time sheriff's deputy. The dude's a lifelong instructor. And, hearing stuff like this from him is how you know things have gotten bad.
It's eye-opening. And, these kind of conversations have been slowly changing their shape since 2013. Anyway, that's it for us today. We will be back next week, Saturday at 11, Saturday at 8 p.m. Hopefully, Krystal Powers will be back with us. And we can finish the Sweet 16 guns of the zombie apocalypse.
I'm anxious.
Chinese invasion or transgender revolution, whichever comes first. We'll catch you next week. Be sure to subscribe to our channels, our podcast, and text the word tactical to the number 59769. That's the message tactical 969 to subscribe to our text alerts. Standard text message and data rates may apply. we will auto text blast you with awesome deals. See you next time.